Okay, so today's topic is on anxious and fearful personality disorders. So this is another cluster of disorders, which includes avoidant PD. So pause the video, read this case study, and then relate it to the diagnostic criteria for avoidant personality disorder. So the central features then of avoidant PD are that these individuals really want to interact with other people, but they are crippled by this fear of social rejection. They have few friends, if any, and virtually all individuals with this disorder have social phobia, but the majority of people with social phobia do not have APD. With social phobia, this tends to be about specific situations, where APD pervades all social situations. This personality disorder is marked by social withdrawal based on a fear of rejection. These individuals are hypersensitive to the possibility of rejection, of humiliation, or shame. And they tend to avoid relationships unless they're sure that the other person will offer them uncritical affection. Avoidant personalities tend to have low self-esteem, and it affects almost every day in a person's life. So these individuals feel very inadequate, and they basically avoid social situations because they're petrified that other people will reject them in social situations. Okay, so dependent PD, another case study here where Mona is talking to her psychiatrist. Pause it here, read it, and then we'll relate it to the diagnostic criteria. Oh, and we have another case study here about Elise, whose husband Mitch does everything for her. Okay, so dependent personality disorder. These individuals show complete dependence on others based on some kind of fear of abandonment. So they basically allow other people to control very minute decisions for them. So this can be what you wear, who your friends are, who your doctor is, what you're going to have for dinner today. And the idea behind dependent PD is that these individuals, because they're so scared that their partner will leave them, they believe that, well, if I allow my partner to completely control my life and map everything out for me, then the other person will never want to leave me. So they basically allow other people to assume responsibility for decisions in very, very major life areas. And they feel lost when they don't have someone to tell them exactly what to do. Okay, so here's another case study about obsessive-compulsive personality disorder, OCPD. So we have Harold here, who is a compulsive accountant. So read this, and then we will discuss the diagnostic criteria. So with obsessive-compulsive personality disorder, these individuals focus on the very minute details to the exclusion of the entire picture. They subject people to irrelevant details, refuse to make decisions. They also tend to be highly moralistic and self-righteous, and they insist on conformity from other people. There is an excessive preoccupation with things like orderliness, perfectionism, and control. Overly concerned with the mechanics of efficiency. So even though they tend to be very, very concerned with running things efficiently, because they get so bogged down with the minute details, a lot of times they don't actually get anything accomplished. Compared to obsessive-compulsive disorder, the personality disorder is milder and more pervasive, and the personality disorder is actually more common. Oftentimes, individuals with OCPD are seen as workaholics, so they spend a lot of time at work. Typically, their perfection prevents them from making decisions and meeting deadlines. Oftentimes, they only seek treatment after they experience some kind of personal tragedy, like a divorce, loneliness, or extreme stress.